When it comes to slip and fall cases, what we often call premises liability cases, a context that comes up a lot are situations involving curbs or sidewalks, sometimes steps, and people ask, if I slipped and fell because of a defect in the sidewalk or in steps that the city or some other local government owns, can I even bring a claim against them? And the answer is yes, potentially, although I have to add the caveat that anytime a local government, city government, state government is involved, there is a whole other level of added complexity to the claim and the potential litigation. In Mississippi, as in most states, we have sovereign immunity, and that's an old, kind of almost really ancient legal theory passed down from way back before the United States was even its own country, sort of comes from England, but basically means that the sovereign, back then the king, is immune. Now what it has done by extension is that there are court rulings that say that the government cannot be sued except for where the government allows or the people allow by law for the government to be sued. And so that has led to the creation of a whole body of law involving different immunities. We hear terms like qualified immunity, discretionary immunity, terms like that all relate to this idea of sovereign immunity and whether or not in any given situation that a local or state government can be sued and be held liable for injuries or for various claims. So the really short answer on a question about falls or injuries related to defects in, say, sidewalks or curbs or steps that are on city or county or state government property is that it really does depend. And the only way that you're going to figure that out is having competent legal representation who can really dig into the facts of your case, to the current law, and apply that to figure out whether or not there is liability and therefore a potential claim and compensation available on that injury from the local entity. I wish there was an easier way to just lay this out, but I will say the law in Mississippi on this point is evolving. There was actually a state Supreme Court decision that came down in the last 10 to 15 years that kind of changed or updated the way that the courts analyze these cases. And as a result of that, there is constantly now in Mississippi new rulings coming out that further refine what types of claims can or cannot be compensated for injury as the result of actions or inactions by government officials. And so it really gets fact specific. It gets dependent upon sometimes the type of entity or type of conduct or purpose or function that they are serving. It also directly ties in, is this sidewalk, is this curb, steps, do other laws and regulations such as the Americans with Disabilities Act, for instance, apply to it. So as you can tell in this short conversation, there's a whole lot of factors, and what would seem like a very simple question can become a pretty complex one pretty quickly. So the bottom line is, if you've been injured as a result of a defect in a curb, in a sidewalk, in steps, etc., that implicates a local or state government, you've got to have legal representation, and you've got to have someone who actually has experience in those types of claims. So don't delay, reach out, get help, and from there you can get some answers. My name is Brad Morris. I'm with Brad Morris Law Firm, PLLC, and we do have experience in these types of claims. If you believe that you have been injured as a result of some type of negligence or malfeasance in that regard, reach out to us. And you can contact us through our website or call us by phone, and we will do our best to answer your questions, try to get you pointed in the right direction on your potential claim, and just get you the help that you need. So I appreciate you watching. I hope this has been helpful to you.